Hi. In this video, I'm going to talk about few frequently asked questions on SAS programming in analytics interviews. So one of the frequently asked question is, which is a simple one, which is asked to the beginners, is name a few commonly used SAS procedures for data handling. Well, to handle data, you could very well use a data step, right? If you're familiar with SAS programming, data step is very useful, uh, while handling data in SAS, and it's very efficient, very efficient. But there are also SAS procedures which are very useful and very handy when dealing with data. If you want to like sort the data using data step, it's going to take a lot of lot of effort. But you have the SAS proc called proc sort. You can use that for sorting your data. You can merge your data using proc merge. You can append using proc append. You can copy one data set from one folder to the other using proc copy. You can export data to external file. It could be a spreadsheet file, Excel file, or a access file using proc export. You can use proc SQL to do a lot of things with your data. Like you can do inner join, you can do outer join, you can do all kinds of data data cleansing and data merging, sorting, everything you can do using proc SQL. So you can use, essentially you can write your SQL query in SAS using proc SQL. So that's useful proc for data handling and data cleaning. Proc transpose, to transpose your data. Proc format, in order to format your data in certain way. You can format your column name, and that kind of thing you can do using proc format. Proc summary is something that you can use in order to summarize your data, which is also useful sometimes. Proc standardize, if you want to standardize your data, sometimes standardized data is used for data analysis. You may need this proc as well. So these are some of the important SAS procs which are very useful while handling your data. So what are the few commonly used SAS procs for data exploration? In the last one we saw data, handling data, but what are the SAS procs which are very useful for data exploration? Proc means, you might have heard about proc means, proc core. Proc means, you can use it for summarizing your data in order to get the mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, and then you can get so many other things as well. You can get a variance. Uh, you can get standard deviation. You can get the number of missing values using n-miss statement and so on. Proc core, you can get a correlation matrix which shows the correlation of variables data using proc core. You can use proc freq to tabulate your data if you have categorical data. So you can use different categories against you can have your count of different categories of your data using proc freq. And then you have proc univariate if you want some kind of an analysis, some exploratory data analysis on a single variable. You can use proc univariate, wherein you will get mean, variance, covariance, and then you will get so many important plots, like your normal distribution plot, histogram, and so on. Proc distance is an important one, where you can find the distance or close relationship between different data points. Proc ADA, if you want to plot a kernel density for your data, you can use proc ADA. Proc tabulate, especially for creating reports, this is very useful. So these are some of the important SAS procs you can use for data explorations. Next question could be, what are the SAS procs you use for data visualization? Well, visualization essentially in SAS is like creating plots. So you can use proc plot, Box plot can also be used if you are particular about creating a box plot. Proc chat, G chat, and then KDE is also useful because you will get a Cornell density plot in this case. SG plot is there, G plot is there, time plot, especially for time series data. If you want to fit a spline, which is similar to the Cornell density, you can use TS spline. So to get into the details of these plots, you can always look at the SAS user guide, wherein the details have been given. So based on the type of plot that you are expecting, you can use either of them. What are the commonly data analysis procs that one would use while doing data analysis on SAS? The list is exhaustive, but I'm just providing very important ones, and especially from a beginner point of view. We use ANOVA for analysis of variance, ARIMA for time series forecasting, CALIS for structural equation modeling, Cluster for cluster analysis, GLM for generalized linear modeling. Generalized linear modeling includes your linear regression, logistic regression, and that kind of stuff. MCMC, Monte Carlo methods, which is Markov chain Monte Carlo. So you can use MCMC for that. NLMix for optimization purpose. MCMC can be used for Bayesian also, Bayesian regression. And then PRINCOM for principal component analysis. REG, PROC-REG for regression analysis, whether it's linear regression or polynomial regression and so on. Factor for factor analysis. And logistic, the very famous logistic regression. Okay, so these are some of the important data analysis procs. For someone in the beginner of someone who is a beginner in data analysis, one should be familiar with all these SAS procs to be able to answer some of the data analysis questions asked in interviews. Okay, so one common question which is being asked in most interviews is, how do you perform your join using how do you merge data in SAS? Well, you can merge data in varieties of ways. One way to do is using the merge statement in base SAS. Okay, so for instance, you have been given an example, is this table A and this is table B. Now in table A we have got IDs, which is an unique ID. So 1, 2, 5, 7 is there. In table B we have also got ID, which is unique, 1, 5, 6, 8. So somebody says, or the interview asks you, that I want data only for the matching IDs. So how many matching IDs are there between A and B? We have got ID equal to 1. So here is also there. And then we have okay, we have just one matching. Oh no, 5 is also there. Okay, so I've got 2 matching IDs. Okay, so how do you write a merge statement in order to be able to get the matching ID and the corresponding data for A and B? Okay, so this should be C and D. I'm sorry, this is C and D. Okay, so we want data for matching IDs. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have to write an inner join statement using merge, or else you can use proc SQL to use a inner join query. So that also we can do. So one would expect you to write a query and give it to him, simple one which can be written easily. Sometimes you would be asked that, okay, we want only the non-matching columns. Okay, so you will have to do a negation of negation of the inner join, or you have to perform an outer join. Sometime you will be asked that, okay, we want all the columns from the left hand table and only the matching from the right hand one. So you might have to do a left outer join. Okay, and sometimes the other way around, you want all the columns for right one and the the matching ones from the left one, or the first table. So you might have to do, in that case you have to do like the right outer join. These are some of the exercise you will be asked to do in interviews. Another question that is often asked is, what's the difference between merging and not the set statement. Okay, this is a confusing this is just to make you confused. If you're familiar with merge statement, you will never be confused with set. But people who are more familiar with proc SQL, like I prefer proc SQL over merge statement. Sometimes you get confused with merge and set statement. When you do a set statement, the data A just get appended below, just a set data B gets appended below A. Very unlikely you will have even you will never have a data right next to A using set statement. But if you merge them, the data B will appear here. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, these are some of the important questions asked in SAS interviews.